Hi, I'm Joan Duckham, and today's morning musings is feeling others' emotions. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago, and even though my information is evergreen, I may encounter a few things that are out of date, in which case I will give you the most recent information, and at the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. Also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Feeling others' emotions. Empathy is the ability to feel other people's feelings. Many of us have the ability to feel others' feelings, we just don't know it. Or if we do, it feels like a burden. Empaths are very sensitive to their environment. They feel the energy of restaurants and offices, of parties and gatherings. It can be challenging to drive down the freeway when you sense all the accidents that have happened there and all the tension of all the other drivers. If you feel an emotion out of the blue, not connected to what is going on around you or in your life, it's probably someone else's. You can pick up loved ones' feelings, even if they're 3,000 miles away. Feelings that don't make any sense, that feel really intense, are usually someone else's communication. They are emitting how they are feeling. Sometimes they come on in familiar channels. You may allow them in because they're a friend or a loved one, or they may remind you of family members. Sometimes it's just proximity. The guy in the apartment above you has been laid off and is really depressed. Even though you are happily employed, you start having a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. People who aren't empaths will say, that must be your emotion. You're just in denial. But I disagree. If you live in an apartment building with two thin walls, your neighbor's rap music at 12 a.m. is not your bedtime listening choice. You have no control over other people's emittances, but you can, believe it or not, control your ability to receive. You can dial down your emotional hearing. You can zip up the front of your chakras to protect your space. Imagine your lower chakras being like volume dials and turn them down. This may be hard for some people to do. Their empathic ability protected them growing up. Perhaps they had a parent who was unpredictable. They never knew what mood they'd be in when they came home, but they could feel them coming and knew when to stay out of the way. People communicate with feelings. A mother may have a hard time turning down her empathy with her children, even when they're adults. It's important to know if your infant is in distress, but less so to feel the anxiety of your 20-something preparing for their graduate exams. We mistake empathy for compassion. You can feel compassion towards someone who's suffering a shock, a loss, but it doesn't help you help them if you're expressing the same intensity of grief. If you're rescuing a drowning man, you need to keep your own head out of the water. Society places great expectations when we match the energy of groups. If you're actually able to stay a half step above the emotional energy field, you can be accused of being cold or unsympathetic. You might, however, be the only clear-headed person in the crowd, able to lead the way out of the darkness. As an empath myself, my biggest revelation has been that I get to set my own energy level. I can decide to be a different vibration. I can imagine my energy field to be a different color. I can see myself vibrating a half step above. I can allow a sense of amusement for whatever black comedy I am in. Give yourself an empathetic break today. You might find it totally transforming your life. So I have to say that since I've written this, there's been a lot more in popular literature and social media about being empathic. So I think that we have been going through an evolutionary shift of consciousness. More of us are feeling our extrasensory perceptions. More of us are acknowledging our empathic abilities. But I also suspect that most of us are still not feeling in charge of our own empathy or even victimized by our own empathy. The challenge is that there is so many shocking and uncomfortable things going on in the world, and we're bombarded with news reports from all over the world. It's really hard to manage being an empath and the onslaught of information coming from everywhere. Empaths are not cold-hearted people. We love our empathy. We want to retain that ability to feel for other people, but the problem is feeling as other people can make us a little crazy. The important thing I have found to learn is to let other people have their own reality, and I can use empathetic hits that I get as information on how to respond. I will have to say I'll still misinterpret where they're coming from. I may be in New York driving my brother back from a doctor's appointment and feeling this kind of overwhelming grief and the need to take a nap, and I'll think it's my husband who's 3,000 miles away instead of the fact that my brother's already fallen asleep in the passenger seat next to me. And the next year and the next coming years are going to be very challenging ones, even from an astrological standpoint. So I think it's really important now to find your own way of navigating and how to stay centered in your body, aware of your body's communication to you. So your body is communicating to you with its own feelings, and discerning when it's not your feelings that you're feeling, and then how to respond to it. So if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. And please click the thumbs up or the heart button and follow or subscribe. And that way you're telling the algorithm to get this out far and wide and to someone who really needs to see this information. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the skybox technique. It'll give you a drone's eye perspective of what's going on and allow you to use your own awareness as consciousness about how to navigate these times. If you'd like some manifestation techniques, click on the link below to Manifesting Money and Miracles. It's my self-study course that'll give you simple but profound energetics for you to completely transform your external reality. And if you'd like an individual session with me, click on the link below to book a session. I do 30-minute or 60-minute sessions where I take a look at the essence of who you are and what's going on in your life today. And then I can answer any questions that you might have and also help you with some energy shifts as well. And it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, that is navigate your life as consciousness with the help of some of my consciousness techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching special where I work with you one-on-one and give you specifically chosen consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. And you can find out more at my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.